in an office. Am I
Yep.
right? How was that? First, I'll tell you this. Did you ever have the thought of like, how can I, like, I wish I could work in an office. How do I get in an office? It seems like impossible to get a job in an office. Like, because I had that thought. Then I got to an office and I was like, they'll hire fucking anybody. Like, because there are some dipshits in this place. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a college education, and don't tell too many people this, but I got expelled from 2 high schools. So it's like, your boiled Uncle Matt, you don't got the best resume. But I'm saying, like, I feel like if you work, like, one of the things that's lacking in an office is like people that work hard.
Yeah.
Like there are some, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of people that like the way they work hard is they need to be given a list. They need to be
Hmm.
given exact instructions, and they will do the same thing on that list. And if a little blip comes up, they lose their goddamn minds, right? But they need like specific instructions on doing this, and this is the list, and you follow this, and blah 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 blah, 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 and they'll do the same thing over and over and over again, and over and over and over again, right? Where problem solving is like such a valuable skill, and I've recognized that you have problem solving skills, right? And that's something like you don't see because it's, people kind of get almost like brainwashed into like, this is how things work. So what was your kind of first impression when getting into an office?
First impression was like, oh my gosh, I can make a living here. Like, this is so cool. Like, this
Yeah.
is stability. This is something that,
Yeah.
eventually you can climb the ranks and climb the ladders. But
Yeah.
then the politics kind of fall in, and it's like high school times 3. So it was really interesting to see how like it changes from this can be an all day thing, this could be an everyday thing, to like, dear God, what did I get myself into? And do I really, like, can I afford to get out of it? And it's like, it's almost like hush money slash blood money. Like,
Yeah.
I can't leave now. Like, the money's too good, but at the same time, like, I will actually rip my hair out.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
so it's the same thing, like you said, like, again, hiring anybody, and the critical thinking skills are just not like, it should be a question on the interview or something. Like,
yeah.
can you critically think? Could you work your way out of a box if you were stuck
Yeah.
in it? And a
Yeah.
lot of people would, of course, lie and say, yeah, I can. We'll demonstrate. And then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you're not cut out for this. But
I would love to give them
it's
like a simple task of like, all right, how do we
like,
fix
open your
this thing?
email. That would be such a great task. Can you turn on the computer? You'd be surprised what I see.
Oh boy.
So it's like,
I can't even imagine what you see.
ugh,
Doof.
gosh, it's insane. And it's like, who did this interview? Did y'all just say yes to any old body?
Yeah.
But whatever. It's exciting though, because it's like, again, you get to see so many different walks of life. And as you can tell, like, I'm a big walk of life kind of person. Like, I
Yeah.
like to see
You're a people
what is
person.
around me. Exactly. I like to see what's around me, who's around me, where'd you grow up, what do how did you learn, whatever. So it's interesting to see what comes in and out of an office. Is interesting to see what stays in an office and what doesn't fly. It's
True.
interesting to see, like, you didn't know you couldn't do that here. Like, do you have any home training type of situation?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a certain type of maturity that you need to have in an office. And
Hmm.
I think it's really interesting to see people who do have it, and especially the people who don't. And it's like, okay, we're cutting this today. you
Yeah.
you gotta go.
But I
So
feel like so what did you call it before? Code breaking, right?
code switching.
Code switching. So I feel like that's kind of like to have a level of professionalism, that's something that you need, right?
Yeah.
Like when we're in there, right? If it's you, like if it's us in the lunch crew, like remember the other week they had to like come in and tell us to be quiet because
Yeah.
we were like bullshitting about Ice Spice and stuff like that.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, but we were just like having fun and everyone's joking and we're all talking like normal. But if someone's in there, like, well, yeah, we'll play up like the friendly stuff, but there's times where it's like we're all keeping it clean and like cutting it nice and stuff like that. And that's just part of the game. But then also when it comes to like the political side of things, really like I mean, there's been time like you like reading a book, like sometimes you have to read the book by the cover, and if you
Hmm.
make a mistake, it is
It's your
bad.
ass. It's your
It
ass,
is
basically.
so bad. Like I remember, dude, I mean, I don't know. I felt like there was a couple of scenarios where I read the book really, I mean, like the book in the cover was really bad. And but then like, also too, like depending on the office you grow in, there's places that are like dead ends. I mean, shout out our place where it's like there is potential for growth and different opportunities and things like that. I will say that. But there you got to be. I mean, if you find someone that you dig, saddle up to that pony and ride. Like, do
Yeah.
not like you know, like, I don't know. I feel like once you get into a situation where you have someone in a managerial role that really cares about your well-being, it completely changes like your whole work outlook on
Yeah.
on everything, you
It
know?
definitely does, and like you said, like, you have to know your audience again, like, you cannot just walk up to anyone and make a "that's what she said" joke, like,
Oh,
someone will
been
run
there.
straight straight to HR,
Yeah,
and it's a
yeah,
thing, and it's like, if you just like you said, find your people, find your niche, like, you have to find your people, but it's not hard, you know what you know, and the book by cover thing, like, it's a lot of the time, it's very obvious, and it's almost like, why would you say that to that person?
right,
Like,
right, right,
what are you actually doing right now?
right,
So
right.
it's interesting, but it's also exciting because when you find those people and you do send the IM like, haha, that's what she said, and you know your friend on the other side is like cracking up. It's like, yeah, yep, damn right, huh? So it's like
Oh, dude.
it makes the time and it makes it worth it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
again, like you see the one where you're like, you have to read that one by the book like by its cover, and you know, again, like you said, where we are, like we have like the the in corporate office thing, so you see everyone. Like I love during the week when you get to see everyone, and it's like certain people where I'm like, her man, I don't know what I'm gonna do with her. But then there's
yeah,
other ones where you be like, hey girl, how you been,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
it's just interesting again to see the different lives kind of collide to each other, and like
yeah.
possible tension or the possible laughter. It's just exciting.
Plus, too, like you're in a position now, and I love to see your growth because it's well deserved. Because I do remember when you were first starting and the position you were in, and like we would talk about you like endlessly, like, no, she's the best. Like, yeah, like we love her. This person's great. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, that's not always said, but I like seeing that you've been so successful and like done so many great things and been able to grow. And I'm really proud of you, and you should be
Oh,
really proud
thanks.
of yourself for that because you've done a great job.
Oh, thank you. It was definitely earned. It was definitely like hard coming, but
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, it's exciting. Like you said, the growth is there. You just have to want it bad enough. Like
Yeah.
that's the other thing. Like eventually, like you can't give into the politics or give into the letdowns or anything like
Yeah.
that. You have to want it. And if you want
Yeah.
it bad enough, you'll get it. And baby, I wanted it. So
Yeah.
here we are today.
And it can beat you down too, where it's
Yo,
like
definitely
if you're in
can.
a situation, it can be, oh man, it can beat you
It
down.
can get
But
rough. It can
yeah,
get real dark.
yeah.